Please welcome our valedictorians, Emma Fischel and Xavier Royer. Presenting their speech entitled 2 Pi, The Paradox of Success.
Good evening, fellow graduates, esteemed faculty, proud. Nah, we ain't doing that either. My name is Emma Fischel.
And I am Xavier Royer.
And we'd like to tell you the story of 3 brothers.
Well, actually of 4 brothers, but the 4th did IB diploma. He was never heard from again.
Yeah, poor guy. Imagine doing the IB diploma.
Anyways, back to the brother. The first brother was named Rock, and his life wasn't exactly easy. He struggled in all his classes.
Everyone told him he had no future, making him feel like a dim light bulb. His only friends were his brothers.
But then, one dark night, a switch flipped in him, and he set out to become the brightest student and gain the respect of his peers.
His determination was like a rock, unbreakable. He went all in, determined to prove those around him wrong. He studied and studied and studied until eventually the rest of the world began to fade away.
He created a successful business selling shutters. He was hailed for his intelligence and the fortune he acquired.
While his financial life shone, the rest of his life dimmed.
He had no family, no close relationships, and after every milestone he thought, if I could just reach the next one, then I'd be happy. And yet, with every shutter he sold, a little more light was blocked out.
On the other hand, the second brother was a genius. His name was Paper.
High school was light for him. Literally, he was the brightest in his class.
However, his life at Stanford wasn't so easy.
The material he studied was hard for him, and his classes overwhelmed him.
He lacked the work ethic of his older brother, Rock. Instead of accepting it as a challenge, he folded like paper.
He adopted the work hard, party harder doctrine, without the work hard part, of course. While his academic abilities were dimming, his social life shone.
His poor work ethic left him with an unstable income, but with a loving family and friends that he could always lean on.
Or party with.
The third brother just got by. His name was, you'll never guess,
Scissors. One could say he never cut corners, always dotting his I's and crossing his T's, yet never brave enough to truly trace his dreams.
Yeah, he was always too scared to take advanced classes despite getting good grades.
He ended up with a very stable job and a decent family.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
And so, divided by their priorities, they all went their separate ways.
Many years later, on a bright, hopeful morning, Rock was visiting one of his shutter stores.
On the same day, Paper was there buying a lampshade for his wife.
And Scissors was also there buying a new shutter.
While in line, Scissors sees a strangely familiar-looking businessman and asks, "What do you do for a living?"
He says, "Oh, I actually just own this place. I'm an entrepreneur."
Scissors responds, "Wow, I've always wanted to own a business or take risks and chase my dreams, but I'm not ambitious enough. Right now, I'm just working a boring 9-to-5 job."
But then Paper jumped in. "Hey man, sorry to eavesdrop, but at least you got a job. I barely make enough money to support my wonderful wife and 5 kids.
To which Rock laments, "Well, at least you have a wonderful family. I closed that window a long time ago."
Paper replies, "You kind of remind me of my older brother."
It's kind of funny, though, that each brother wants what the other has.
Yeah, I guess everyone just always wants what they don't have.
And no one appreciates the things they have that others don't.
Yeah, I guess we could always be more grateful. If we're ungrateful for everything, we won't really have anything, as we would just be lost in wanting more.
Yet, if we are grateful for absolutely everything, we still won't really have anything, as we will just be lost in complacency.
I guess it's a balancing act between letting the light in and shuttering it out. Speaking of shutters, after the encounter, a light bulb went off in Rock's head and he said, "Wow, you really remind me of my brother Paper."
And to that, Paper said, "Hey, you really remind me of my brother Rock." And then slowly, they both turned 180 degrees and screamed, "Scissors?"
That's a full circle moment right there.
A whole 2 pi radians.
And so Rock taught Scissors how to be an entrepreneur, Scissors taught Paper how to work a 9 to 5, and Paper taught Rock how to build relationships.
None of them were perfectly successful. Rock still had trouble balancing his relationships, Paper still worried about money and providing, and Scissors still prioritized his 401k over his business.
Yeah, I guess life is never perfect.
Maybe it's not about perfection, but rather the journey towards it.
Yeah, I guess the moment you stop trying, you surrender your future success.
And the moment you stop appreciating, you surrender your future happiness.
And thus, never lose sight of what you have, but never lose focus on what's to come.
If only the 3 brothers had learned this lesson at high school graduation. Now, I'd like to take a moment to say thank you for all of those who have made this moment possible. In my rough draft, I had almost an entire page dedicated to expressing my gratitude, but unfortunately our speech is already too long. So in the time given, I'll do my best. Thank you to the Oakmont cross country team. Thank you to my amazing teammates, John, Jarrell, and Dominic, for always being there to support me. Thank you to the kind, congenial, energetic, and amazing people in my IB class. Thank you to all of my supportive teachers and the staff who greet me warmly every morning. Thank you to the class of 2025 for all of the amazing moments that I will forever cherish. Thank you to Mr. Markovich for restoring my deleted Google account after my shenanigans went bad. And special shout out to Toby and Colin for allying with me in Risk.
And I would like to thank Dylan Fan for being the best friend and study partner I could have ever imagined. And I would like to thank Daniel and Caleb for being my bros. And I would like to thank Bella Cunningham, Umay Gupur, Aaliyah Wynn, and Ramaya Carter for being some of the best people I've ever met. And lastly, I would like to thank my beautiful mother, who quite literally made me everything I am.
Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2025.
Emma Fischel.
Tanishta Mondal.
Inia Hariharan.